I'm Rick Dancer on Rick Dancer TV. Tonight we're going to show you Detering Orchards Apple Days. We're going to talk about Womenspace and what they're doing for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're going to take you to Goodwill to show you how to find your Halloween costume. And Goodwill has a Job Connections program. You're not going to believe how well it works. Well, it's October, and of course, it's Apple Days at Detering Orchards. Seems like we do this show from here every year now.
Yeah,
you're becoming an annual. This is Greig Detering, one of the many Deterings that run this place now. My gosh, this place looks like a new place with the old feel.
Yeah, we've tried to keep the old feel that my dad established, but we've added a whole lot of new events. We got a corn maze in, we got an apple launcher, goats and cows, and all kinds of things for the kids.
Now tell them about the undercover shopping, because I think a lot of people don't really know that it used to be a different feel out here, and you guys put a huge roof in here, so you're undercover.
Right. A lot of people don't realize they used to come back from the old days, they'd come out here and realize that, oh, it's not really good when it's raining. Now we got a total covered area for when it's raining. This is all new here, and we got a whole new shopping area over here where we sell squash, have some other registers, buckets for our U-picking.
Last weekend was a whole different weekend than this weekend.
Oh yeah, this is like night and day. It's just an amazing weekend we've got out here for our first Apple Days.
So Apple Days is 15, you guys have 15 varieties out here, right?
Yep, 15 varieties of apples.
So you can pick up the apples yourself here, or you can go out and pick them.
That's right. You can either buy them pre-picked or go out and spend some time in the orchard picking it yourself.
You've got the maze, you've got the apple launcher, you've got animals, you've got fruit and vegetables.
Yes. We got hay rides that are going right out to the pumpkin patch. So people can go out and pick their own pumpkin up out there if they want. We got a great experience. We got 3 tractors running with trailers. You can drop you off in the field, go out and pick up your pumpkins and head back here.
The Deterings have had this orchard since the early 1900s, and now it's on the generation that's taking it over and trying to do something a little different without losing what it already had in the heritage of this place. It looks completely different out here. Watch this story to find out what the Deterings are doing with the orchard. Detering Orchards near Coburg is more than a farm. Detering Orchards is a way of life.
My great-grandparents, William and Julia, moved into the area back in 1911.
The Deterings want their way of life to become part of your life. In the 30s, the family grew row crops and rhubarb. Detering's grandfather, a 5-term state legislator in Oregon, had an idea to enhance the farm.
Somewhere in the 40s, he decided he was going to grow peaches. And most of the farmers around here kind of laughed at him.
But peaches caught on, and Deterings was famous for growing what no one else could grow in the Willamette Valley.
And at times, there would be rows of cars almost a mile out down the street back in the heavy canning days because people wanted to get peaches and there was nowhere else to get it.
Roger and Sharon Detering, Greig's parents, put apples and education into the farm mix.
And they start with the Gravensteins, go into the Cameo, the Matsu, the King. One of everybody's favorite is the Honey Crisp.
36 varieties, some on the trees until December, available for sale most of the year. Roger wanted school kids to touch and feel and experience the farm. He pushed the high season from summer into the fall. You pick or pick it out yourself at the historic farm stand. You get to choose. But everyone walks away with the best produce in the valley and a better understanding of life on the farm.
He had strong focus on education, really had a heart to educate the young people to understand nature and farming, where our food comes from. So he started doing a lot of field trips out here.
Field trips are still a regular part of the experience at Detering Orchards. Pumpkins and apples, row crops, corn so crisp the sound whispers as it's shucked. At Detering Orchards, change is part of history, and more is coming. The next generation of Deterings is moving into agri-recreation.
He moved the farm into a whole another season. We'd actually like to move it into a full year-round kind of operation.
Detering Orchards will still have all the fresh produce you count on, but enhanced with more activities and more ways to keep you entertained on the farm.
Cider. We make cider out of every kind of apple.
At Detering Orchards, you get to be a part of the farm experience.
It's all fresh. It's fresh, natural, there's nothing added to it. It's just literally just apples squeezed.
I think my dad would be pretty surprised at what we're doing, but he would be happy about it. He would be happy that the next generation's bringing some other new ideas into the operation and enhancing it to carry this on. That's the thing he'd be happiest about, just to see that his life's work is being carried on into the next generations.
At Detering Orchards, you experience life in the country, life on the farm, and food gathering the way it's been done for generations. Detering Orchards is not going away. Detering Orchards is here to stay.
Oh, get an apple.
Hey Becky, it's Becky Detering, of course, from Detering Orchards. This is your corn maze and I'm about to tackle it.
All right.
How long have you been growing this corn to make a maze?
It's been since about June that the corn's been growing. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty tall right now.
Any tricks? I mean, how do you decide where the maze goes?
It's up to you.
It's
just take
scoop.
a chance. Yeah, there's no inside scoop. You gotta take a chance.
You're not giving me anything here, Becky. Now, do people just make their own trails and get to just give up and then
you know, they're not supposed to make their own trails, but
good to know.
Do. Yeah,
good to know.
You know, get lost and they see a little slip through the corn, they may do that.
When did you decide to do a corn maze here?
Well, the orchard, my parents had this orchard, and they were very focused on the crops and the apples and peaches and pears, and we just decided that we wanted everyone to have a family experience when they came out to the orchards. Follow the straw trail and wherever it takes you.
So my navigator on my phone is not going to help me.
Yeah, it's not going to help you here.
Kind of feel like Rick's just trying to get rid of me. Oh my God, they're so tall. I don't like this. Oh, there's pumpkins. There's pumpkins. There's sort of a trail there. Why is it so scary and it's so light outside? Oh no, I'm gonna be late again. I did it! I did it!
Let's go back in.
Whoa, I just changed direction so many times.
This old barn has been on the property of the Deterings since they've had this place since 1934. They just fixed it up, made it into a shopping area, did something brand new with something very old. Kind of like what a lot of us like to do with our career. At some point in your life, you're looking for a new job, looking for a change, looking for a way to improve your life. Goodwill has a job connection program that does that for so many people, and it's very successful. Watch. Mariah Nelson is looking for a change.
I left my whole life behind. I had a steady job. I had, good friends. I had a lot of things going, so I took a huge risk.
She's headed to business school and needs a job.
I was at the Goodwill trying to find some clothes to go job hunting, and I heard an ad on their radio.
Let Goodwill's free Job Connections program connect you with employers currently hiring in our community.
We are here to help anybody out there. You don't have to be disabled. You can use the service and we'll help you find employment and really increase your self-sufficiency and get where you want to go in life. When you donate to Goodwill and that gets processed and sold in our stores, a portion of that profit that's made in our stores funds this program. So you are actually, as you're donating, helping people being able to access this center. So this is completely paid for by people shopping at our retail store and people donating to Goodwill.
Worked on my cover letter, my resume. They just gave me all the research that I ever needed. They have a phone so I could follow job leads.
We're really seeing the ripple effect. They come in, they get a job, and all of a sudden they do get housing and they get transportation and they get to get off food stamps or any type of state assistance.
In 2012, the Goodwill Connections program helped more than 800 people find work.
They're going to come in, they're downtrodden, there's something going on that's a hardship in their life. And through our support and motivation and teaching them the tools that they need, we see them rise up and accomplish something and get a job.
Here they really know what they're talking about. They go to classes and learn how to teach people things. So they really gave me solid help, solid advice. Well, I actually got 2 jobs out of it. I actually had 5 interviews in a matter of 3 days. So
Job Connections helps with mock interviews, provides computer, internet, resume paper, phones, and job leads.
The Job Connections program is a free program. It's for anybody in the public or in the community that wants to come in and look for a job or a better job.
this is like a hidden gem, and I think people should check out this resource because I couldn't have asked for better help. I really couldn't have. I was so happy to find them. It's nice when people actually care about your well-being as opposed to just being a face in a room. College is definitely the next step for me. I want to get that degree. I want to finish that. It's always been an unfinished chapter in my book, and I just want to get that done and taken care of, and I'm looking forward to that next chapter.
The issue of homelessness is a big issue in our community these days. We've seen all the protests, we've heard people talking. We wanted to get some factual information, somebody who understands what's going on out there. So we went to the Eugene Mission and did a WaterCooler interview with Jack Tripp, the director out there. Watch the entire interview and then go online to rickdancer.tv and watch the extended version. You're really going to learn something in this. Hi, welcome to the WaterCooler. I'm Rick Dancer. This is Jack Tripp, the Executive Director of the Eugene Mission. We are inside the Eugene Mission to talk about homelessness in Lane County. This is the day room. Jack, you were saying something that I think everybody should hear. You operate basically the largest mental hospital in the area.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key issues for homelessness is the fact that so many of the homeless are mentally ill in various shapes or form. And a lot of that has to do with, across the country, with closing down mental health facilities in the late 70s and early 80s. And right now, the mental health capabilities of this county as well as the country is so limited that a lot of times those individuals that can't be served end up at a homeless shelter or worse, in jail.
How many of the folks, do this for me, how many people are here and how many of those folks would you guess would qualify as mentally ill?
Right, so we've put a cap of 360 on the amount of guests that can stay here at night. We have about another 250 that use the day facility, so that's about 610. Of those, I've estimated about 90% have some sort of mental health issues, from either just mild depression all the way up to schizophrenia and multiple psychosis, etc.
So what is your biggest concern? Because obviously we're doing this, we're seeing a lot with sleeps, we're seeing a lot of organizations downtown, protests, people are frustrated on both sides of this issue. What do you say to folks out there watching going, what is homelessness?
Yeah, and I will actually, because we're a Christian organization, I'll go to the Bible and just say one quick thing. In Psalm 131 it says, don't get involved in things that are too big for you. And I literally say this is something that's too big for all of us, because we use this term homelessness, but when you start actually serving in this community, you find out that it's a one-on-one relationship and that each one of the guests that come through our door have such a different background that in very much cases is so traumatic. So you're dealing with an issue that's so complicated and so difficult. And for Eugene, especially in Oregon, and I just read this, that Oregon has the largest per capita amount of homelessness of any state in the country. In Oregon, it's particularly an issue. And for Eugene, there's literally anywhere from 1,800 to 4,000 homeless people, depending on the count that you take, and if you include couch surfers and the rest of it. It's just in sheer numbers, it's overwhelming.
What does it cause from? Everybody wants to have their say and say, well, people need to get a job. They need to be working. They need to toughen up. What do you say when people say that to you?
Yeah, and you know, the cause I can't really say. I mean, there's so many theories and so many issues. Some of it has to do with the economy. And for instance, those that are called situationally homeless, that are homeless for a short period of time, we'll see that 10% come through the mission. I lost my job. I'm a single mom. I lost my job. They get a new job and they move on. For the chronically homeless, which is the majority of people we see at the Eugene mission, it is just a multitude of issues, of which includes mental health, includes physical health, and it just includes the economy as well. So it's sort of an entire package. But the one thing I will say is it's tough a lot for us who may have somebody defecate on your front door, may tear up your lawn, etc., to be loving and kind when you see this. But I have been shamed, because every time I start thinking that way, I then sit down and talk to the individual, and I find out that there's such a traumatic background. And that's the core of it.
Okay, I want to continue this conversation. That's it for this WaterCooler. You can go on rickdancer.tv. We're going to extend this interview on because we have a lot more to talk about. So go to Rick Dancer TV and you can find out more. So tell me.
I pictured you.
Oh, perfect. And we're here with Becky Detering, one of the owners of Detering Orchards. And ever since your parents have been gone, you guys have kind of tried to change some things around about the farm, do something a little different, because they really built up a huge business with orchards and apples and all that kind of stuff. But you guys know that the world's changing and we need to have some different kind of things in here. What are you doing out here?
Exactly. We've created a lot of recreation opportunities for all the families to come out and take advantage of. And one of those that we have is the Apple Blaster. We have animals and corn maze and...
Who came up with this? Were you and Greig, like, did you used to do this as you were kids?
Yeah, well, we pretty much did to each other, so...
What do you want people to know about Detering Orchards now, the new Detering Orchards?
That it's still a great place to get quality fruits and vegetables all throughout the summer from June through December, but that it's a great place for the family to come.
You know, it's fun for me being out here today watching, and a lot of the older folks from the community still come here.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
those old, they're committed to the Detering Orchards, and I was saying earlier that every kid in Lane County, I think, has been here as a field trip,
Right.
And it's really fun to see people come back because they feel like this is home.
Exactly.
Hey, look who's here. This is Sandy Harris from the Eugene Daily News. Hey, Sandy, I know you're working, but I tell he's got you out here busy, busy, busy. So talk to me a little bit about what you do with Eugene Daily News.
I write stories. I go out and find events like this and go take pictures and meet people.
Why do you like doing this? What is it for you?
Meeting people. I like to find out just fun things to do in Lane County.
You also do some pretty hard hitting. I read your story that you did on the homeless folks here in Lane County. What do you think this brings to Eugene that they may not be getting from traditional media sources?
Maybe just a different look at things. We see, like the homeless, we see them all over and people have their opinions on it, but I wanted to look on the other side of that and find out what that was like. So just showing different stories in a different light to people.
What is the most fun thing you've gotten to do so far? Oh, I heard about your agrarian hop. What?
Oh, I love agrarian.
Tell me what you did out there.
Well, I went out and I met Ben, the owner, and he showed me, toured the facilities there. And then a couple weeks later, I went out and I picked hops.
So they give you beer while your pay is a beer while you're picking hops.
Right. They have hay bales set up and they have screens and they bring in their truck, just a Ford truck or whatever kind of truck. Clip the hops off, bring it over, and we just start picking. And then a man goes around giving us tickets so we can go get beer for free. My favorite's a Dahlia.
So that's a job? This is
a
your job?
Yeah, it was a blast. And then you can take the tickets and then go get food with it. Their cooks are amazing.
So how did you get into this with Eugene Daily News?
I found an ad on Craigslist and thought, what do I have to lose? Nothing. So I applied. And
have you ever done this before? That's what I love about Eugene Daily News is we're taking people with regular voices and giving them a voice to give other people a voice.
Absolutely. I just love EDN. do whatever I want and share it with everybody in Lane County. It's a blast. Love it.
All right. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks,
for what
Rick.
you do. We'll keep track of you and get back to work.
Okay.
The famous Sharon Detering apple crisp. It's what I came out here for.
Yes, this is what they serve this 11 to 4 on the weekends for Apple Days. And she used to make this for everybody, and it was like anybody in Lynn and Lane County knows exactly what this stuff is.
When did you get here?
I've been here. I was on time. So Ranchito Grill is offering their special again. Go to Ranchito Grill. I was just there the other day. Kathy and I had dinner with the boys.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my gosh, Jesse had this mucho burrito, and it was this thing like this huge. I had a new chicken dish. It was like just chicken breast, and then it had, yeah.
I love when you go to Ranchito Grill without me and then rub it in my face. That's nice. That's awesome. Did you tell them I said hi at least? Because
Yeah, I told Abe you said hi, and he wondered why you hadn't been there. Go to Ranchito Grill, tell Abe, Em and Rick sent you, even though Rick never brings Em. And then,
Rude.
Yeah, and then tell him also fill out the little form, give us your name and phone number. We're gonna do a drawing at the end of the month, and we'll find out who gets 2 free dinners, 2 free drinks.
From Ranchito Grill.
Love those people.
I love it.
At Detering Orchards, October is all about the harvest. October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a chance to end the silence about domestic violence and educate people about this issue and how much it's devastating our community. Womenspace is an organization that's doing just that, educating the public.
Hi, this is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. A friend gave me this number and said that I needed to call Womenspace. This is Womenspace. Good. I don't know what to do. My kids and
I was so scared to get help because of what people thought.
I was afraid nobody can believe me.
I'm really scared, and I don't know if this is the right place to call. I just don't have anywhere else to go.
The silence is what keeps victims trapped and perpetrators in control.
There has been a huge increase in domestic violence murders.
Domestic violence is a crime that hides behind the batterer's manipulation, coercion, and threats.
You are so stupid!
He told me that names, bitch. The most terrible words. Stupid Mexican, wetback. Who's gonna believe you?
Nobody's gonna believe you!
We question the victims and fail to hold the abusers accountable.
I was so scared that they were gonna think it was me, judge me, and not really look at the abuser.
The power of domestic violence hides behind silence.
He stopped the car and he grabbed my hair and swept the floor with my body. And he told he's gonna kill me there. And he's gonna bury my body in there and nobody can find me.
Josefina Perez remembers the moment her silence shattered.
Womenspace helped me to go through getting back my life again.
I don't know what to do. My kids and I have been. Last night we didn't have any place to go, and I don't know what to do. I can't go back home.
The 24-hour crisis line at Womenspace is the first step for many survivors of intimate partner violence.
At this point, would you like to come in and meet with an advocate to discuss options for shelter and safety plans? Can I come today before my other kids get out of school?
An advocate isn't someone who says you need to do this, you should do this, I want you to do this. What an advocate does is kind of sit with you and encourage you to make those decisions.
She doesn't judge me, she helps me, and she doesn't tell me my feelings are wrong, she guides them. For me, coming here was the start of my way out.
Sunshine's story is complicated and terrifying. Her husband is serving 42 years in prison for what he did to her.
He busted my back in 3 different spots, and I had a 2-inch bone stuck in my sciatic nerve. He had also fractured my skull, and he broke my face. He broke the bones in my hands, where I had to have metal pins drilled inside of them.
Womenspace helps Sunshine, Josefina, and women like them put their lives back together.
I'm not afraid to tell other women that if they come here, that they're gonna find help and that they're really gonna be able to start living a life in a different way that they've ever lived.
They saw in me maybe I'm strong and I need some help to get through again.
It's very emotional for me, and change doesn't happen as fast as I would like it to.
As a community, instead of asking why victims stay or go back, we need to ask why abusers abuse. Sunshine is permanently disabled as a result of her batterer's torture and abuse, and she has 3 young children to raise.
I can't say it's gonna be easy, but I can say your worst day on this side of the road is 100 times better than your worst day on the other side of the road.
When we blame, we keep victims from coming forward. Womenspace understands.
If we just opened our arms to survivors and made the system hold batterers accountable, that we could get rid of all of that judgment. More people would come forward and ask for help, because it wouldn't be a bad thing to have to ask for help.
I have a voice in that people care, and that I'm deserving of not being hit and not being belittled is probably one of the biggest gifts I've ever had. Just being unconditionally loved, and I get that here.
Nobody can be quiet what's going on or what's happened. Doesn't matter what. You have to talk, and you have to say no to the violence. No more.
I don't know if this is the right place to call. I just don't have anywhere else to go. You made the right call.
All month long, there's a number of organizations like Dickie Joe's that are putting on fundraisers for Womenspace. If you'd like to find out more and how you can support them, just go to their website right here on your screen. So that's my wife. She's eating the Deterings out of house and home by trying every apple, because we have to find just the right one. You know how you are with your Halloween costume. You're the same way. You got to find just the right thing. You got to be just the right character. Well, the other day, you know Will, the intern? I made him. Well, I asked him. No, I made him go to Goodwill with me, and he had to become the character of my choice, a scarecrow. Watch.
Why does Rick make me do this? I'm an intern. I need a raise. I need a paycheck. Rick? Why? Where am I gonna find hay in October, Rick? Rick? Rick!
Just got back from a walk, and I saw the most horrifying, terrifying, earth-shattering thing that I've ever seen in my life. 20 acres with thousands and thousands of survivors hiding in open fields, hoping that they're not the next one, praying that they can make it to November the 1st. And what the problem is you. Well, let me show you some video, some more video, some pictures. I couldn't take video out there. I took pictures. This is graphic stuff. Look at that. There they sit, waiting, hoping that you don't find them. Yeah, these are them, the pumpkins. Survivors of a thing you call a holiday. What is wrong with people today? I mean, some of you are going to go out and buy and sell these things as if they're just your basic squash. You'll cut open their heads, take their guts out, and then, you sickos, you fry their offspring in seasoning salts and give them to your children. Sick. Others of you will peel their skin off, mash them up, add a little allspice and nutmeg, then put some egg in there, which, by the way, an egg is a dead chicken, sicko. You smash that up, then you stick them in the oven and bake them at 350 for 40 minutes. Then you have the gall to put them on your table, throw some whipped cream on, and you eat it. What is wrong with you? And then there are the sickest of all. Yeah, the people who take home these pumpkins, open up their heads, and then mutilate their bodies by carving a stupid face on them. Then you stick a candle in their head, light it on fire, stick it on your front porch while the young children come up to your home, and you call it a holiday decoration. What is wrong with you? What have we turned into? I, for one, will no longer be part of any of this stuff. No, I'm not gonna. I will not reveal the location of the surviving pumpkins. No. I will go to my grave to protect them. So you just have a happy Halloween, mutilating, cutting up, and devouring these poor, innocent creatures. PFP. People for Pumpkins. Sicko. I love fall because it's a time when things kind of die off in nature, and I think it can in our own lives. It's a time we get to change. I was at a Look Me in the Eye assembly at Gillum Elementary the other day talking about people with disabilities and how we need to treat people better. And we were talking about why people tease and pick on each other. And a little boy named Mikey stood up and said, maybe we need a rule. Maybe we need a rule that says nobody gets to pick on each other. I said, Mikey, I think we have that rule already. He says nobody lives by it. And I said, maybe what we need is a new personal rule where you decide you're not going to pick on other people, whether it's congressional folks, whether it's your city council, whether it's other people in your life, and you police yourself. There's a novel idea.